a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now. Hello, hello.
Righty.
How's it going, my friend?
Why do I sound low? Hello?
Because you're kind of deaf.
Hello? Doesn't sound loud in my ears.
How about now?
Yeah, there we go. Good morning, everyone.
Just got to put up that gain for yourself. I forget you're slightly deaf. My apologies.
Okay.
Well, good morning. Cheerios.
Cheers.
Happy Saturday. I was thinking about it yesterday. It's been a while since we've done an in-studio show in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, because we've been on the move.
Yeah, we went to MoneroKon and then Porcfest. So it's a lot. So yeah, we haven't really talked about
feels like a very long time ago.
Right?
But it's really only
That's
been
true.
what, 2 weeks?
3.
3?
No, maybe 2. Yeah, well, 2 weeks and a half, I want to say, because we went. For those that don't know, we went to MoneroKon. Thank you to the team that pulled it all together.
Yeah, super big thank you.
It was awesome. Yeah,
and
thank
for
you guys.
Giving me the honor
of
emceeing
the first day, which was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great time, but that was in Portugal. So we got there like on a Thursday and we come back on a Monday, in the evening. And then we went straight to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Thursday evening, we jumped in the car and drove to New Hampshire for
Packed
Porcfest.
up the car.
6 hours. So, and then, came back.
With Franya.
With Franya. And then, came back Sunday night, late night, 10 o'clock, and then off to work again on Monday. So, yeah, it's been nonstop fun.
I can't wear these.
You can't see through them.
You can't see.
They're cool glasses.
I love them.
They're awesome in theory, but just to kind of like hang around.
It's distracting to look at.
Yeah, you just see a bunch of dots.
It was great for when Crypto Bear was performing.
Yeah,
and everybody was wearing
I don't know how you
glasses in the audience and the lights. It was intense.
That's hilarious. So yeah, so it's been jam packed, and hopefully, this week
the hits keep on coming. We got more coming up, right?
Yeah, we have
Freedom Fest.
That's in Las Vegas, but at least it's in like 2 weeks. Sad that I'm saying, only in 2 weeks. So that should be fun. I'm assuming we're going there for like a couple of days, 4 days. So that
all
fun.
Just came together. We weren't decided on that until like last night, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But there were other conferences too. The blockchain for days. That would have been awesome.
Days in Mallorca.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, we were gonna try to do both, actually, guys. I was gonna go to Vegas and then just show up for the day. I got invited to be on a panel there, which is super cool, with Mark Moss, and it's gonna be hosted by Jo Jorgensen, the woman that ran as the Libertarian candidate in 2020. And I don't know who else is on the panel, but it's a big panel on the main stage, Freedom Fest. I think there's like thousands of people that go. So I didn't want to miss that opportunity. But then we're going to try to go from there and go to Mallorca after. And I was going to meet Sunita. Sunita was going to spend some days there on her own, just chilling.
Just relaxing, because I need a break, man. Guys, I need a break.
But it's too much. And like, tickets are really expensive to fly from there. And we're not, we get people to help us out here and there with things, but like the Mallorca thing would basically just be, it'd add up.
Yeah, it would add up a lot. Yeah. For like
juice
just a few
wasn't
days.
worth the squeeze. And then we were going to try to do a little project there to make it worth our time and effort. The whole DJing thing. But we're pulling back on that. We'll maybe try that at another time or in conjunction with the next Monerotopia, where talking to Tony, and it just doesn't feel like it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But we
for
do
the
have everything.
time.
We got the DJ, but it's just not going to make sense.
It's not going to make
putting
sense.
the effort into it. I don't know.
And it's in 2 weeks, and where, and they have events going on, and
but we're still going to maybe try to take advantage of Mallorca. I don't know. Is Tony jumping on?
I don't know. We'll let him know, but he's going to talk about what the plans are and see.
Yeah, Tony may go there on our behalf, represent us, and be like a Monero Talk reporter.
Reporting on scene. That'd be fun. I think
live with Tony.
Live with Tony.
Take it away, Tony.
Take it away. Take it away. So that should be exciting.
We had a phone call with him last night. We were making these jokes for about an hour. Fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Tony's an awesome dude. Awesome. Glad he came to Monerotopia and we were able to.
Yeah, and he put some effort into trying to do the DJ thing. So we don't want lost efforts here. So we're going to pivot into maybe Tony just going, representing us, doing interviews, putting together a special Monero Talk report for the Mallorca conference. Because there's going to be a lot of cool people there. Small conference, but a lot of like OGs and, cool people to get interviews from. So
it should be an exciting experiment because, we're all about experimenting different things.
Freedom Fest, I think, is going to be.
It's going to be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he's a little sick of the freedom fighters.
I'm not sick, guys. I just need a break
after Porcfest.
I need a break
the Libertarian National Convention.
People have vacations. I feel like we just never have a vacation that I don't have to worry about something that we have to post or do. Or
whereas I kind of see this as a vacation, because I just thoroughly enjoy it. So
I mean, I enjoy it too.
It is exhausting though.
It's more so just being not worrying. My whole thing is I worry a lot. So it's like we're there, we got to do a bunch of things, and there's no, sure you try to enjoy while you're there. Obviously, it's not like it's all work, but still, there's no.
Mostly because we're trying to balance it with normal day jobs.
Correct.
So it's like you don't really get the downtime. We're either doing one thing or the other. But
yeah,
I feel like we're just always complaining.
Oh God. Anywho, moving on. For those of you that haven't seen, we posted 2 videos again. The MoneroKon, with a bunch of interviews there, Arctic Mine, and a few others. Oh wow, that's like we had a bunch of people that we interviewed for MoneroKon.
Oh
so
yeah,
check out
we had
that
a
video
bunch
if you haven't. And then the recent one that we just published was the Porcfest one. Again, you get a feel of what went on during the conference.
Wish I would have interviewed
the festival.
Some more people there.
But yeah, you interviewed Bruce Fenton.
Yeah.
And then Star O'Hara. So
yeah, that was random. She was cool.
She was really cool.
I got to read that book. Yeah.
So that's really, that's really about it regarding little chit chat. Anything else you want to chat about?
No, I don't think so. Let's keep the show moving.
All right. We have our price report, but I think aFungible is having a little difficulty logging on.
Okay.
So
whenever he's ready.
But right now, maybe we can just jump to the special guest. Our special guest is here.
Let's do it.
Let's try to do that. The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. Hello. Andreas, how's it going?
Andreas, you there?
Can you guys hear me? How's it going?
Good. How are you? Man. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys, sending you guys all the best energy this Saturday. I'm happy we were able to work this out, and I know you guys have been crazy busy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's all good. So I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. Yeah, we apologize that we did a lot of back and forths.
Yeah,
obviously, as you can tell, we've been all over the place.
Yeah.
So it wasn't intentional.
We didn't mean to. We weren't blowing you off. We were just
no,
it's the right time.
It's good. Yeah. It's good. You guys are doing amazing works, and a lot of people, it's easy for them to talk the talk, but you guys are definitely doing the walk. So
thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Much love, and Yeah, no, it's exciting to be here and spread the message of, some of my works and what I'm doing in the Monero space. And it's good to be able to, you know, build the conversation and have an opportunity for more people to hear, what type of work we're doing here. So
Yeah, what are you working on, man? I know
Yeah,
you
for those
you,
that
you
don't know.
presented at Monerotopia in the after hours section.
right, yeah, man.
How you wanted to come talk about today? Your project?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So my name's Andreas, and I was having some issues with my video. So today it's going to be more about the message rather than the messenger, but that's okay. But yeah, I was an after dark speaker at Monerotopia, and I presented on my business, which is Mirage Sale, buy and sell locally using crypto. And you can check it out at miragesale.com. And yeah, I had a kind of a revelation last year when I was in a creative mindset and whatnot. I thought about how eventually, the world is going to want to spend their Monero rather than always just sell it for fiat on exchanges and whatnot. And how beautiful it would be to start to build a foundation for a world that instead of having to, sell your Monero for necessarily fiat, you could say, what, there's a marketplace in my local community, something more similar to Craigslist, but tailored to crypto, and give people the opportunity not only to spend and receive something tangible, whether it's a good or it could even be a service. However, also giving people the opportunity to sell different goods and services for crypto or for Monero, particularly because, in my research and my analysis, as of, today, Monero is, I believe, the best form of digital cash we have. So, that's kind of why I tailored my business on Monero. Because if you look at Craigslist, most transactions on Craigslist are done in cash. And if we're going to be moving into a future that is more tailored to digital blockchain and technology as such in our financial system, I kind of figured if we were to have a local marketplace, it would be best to have, anonymous private digital cash as the forefront of it. So that's kind of the basis of what I'm doing. But yeah, you can check it out at miragesale.com. It's been up now since about 2 months. So I kind of had this unofficial launch party at Monerotopia. So I thought that was pretty cool. But and thank you guys again for doing all that and setting up and taking your time and sacrificing to put that together for
Yeah, man,
that
completely.
purpose. So.
We love doing it, but it's great that you're pursuing this projects. There's definitely a need there for services like this. I know there's a few other attempts that are being made right now. Other people that are trying to create such services. This is what we need, guys. What Andreas is doing. People that are going out and building businesses that are going to help the Monero circular economy come to fruition. So, yeah, man, great job. What inspired you to do this? Obviously, it's not an easy thing.
Right.
You're not like making money off of it day one. There's a lot of risk. Maybe
Right.
not necessarily a lot of reward. What is motivating you to pursue this?
Yeah, man. No, you said it. I mean, pretty much this journey so far has been, just out of my own time, sweat, and effort. And, I think the term is sweat equity, right? But yeah, man, it just came down to a passion and sound money and wanting to see the world move towards more of a system based on sound fungible money, and really realizing Monero, the time that I did, it made me feel that, there's opportunities, especially in this market and in crypto, and especially right now with, the market being where it is. The time has never been better to build or create a business or something that's going to help crypto, because everyone calls it the crypto winter, and that really it's like, as an entrepreneur, as a creator, this is the time you want to be building and innovating, because when the markets start going back up, it's when you'll hope to see some fruit out of it. But no, absolutely, man. To more tailor answer, give you a better answer to your question, really is just, I believe in sound money and its benefits to society, and it came more out of passion, of wanting to see the world and envisioning and imagining a world where people just take pictures of a chair or something around their house, or something that may not be like seen as much, but you can get crypto out of it. And and it's like, you think about it, if there could be crypto all around you in your house, where you could just sell stuff that, it's almost like you hear it all the time with marketplaces like this, is someone else's trash is another man's treasure. And it just came out of passion to wanting to see this come to to realize this vision I had to try to grow this marketplace and see the world transact on a local level, and therefore really just empower local communities with sound money and in a local marketplace that backs that. So
very cool, very cool. Yeah, I'm looking around our house right now, thinking what can we sell for Monero?
right.
We've been very interested in this concept. We talked about potentially pursuing it at one point, the Craigslist of Monero. So yeah, man, I love to see that you're giving this a shot. Somebody needs to pull this off. Are you making some good progress? Are you getting people posting yet? What are you trying to do to kind of bootstrap this, get the early adopters on board? It's a two-sided market problem. These are always hard companies to start, right? Because you need the vendors and then you need the buyers. Kind of a chicken and egg problem, right? So you need people
Right.
out there vending to bring in the people on there that are going to come on the other side. What are you doing to overcome that?
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you guys, but that's kind of the challenge right now. And it's relatively new. It's still 2 months up and running, and yeah, we have about, I think, maybe a dozen or 2 dozen posts, but they're not coming as frequent as you would like, but it's okay. And really my initial stance was sort of build the foundation on rock. Try not to build it on sand and rush things, and really, because you could build a huge house and a huge building, but if it's built on sand, eventually it will crumble. And my mindset going into this is to try to build it on a solid foundation, so that when the day comes, where potentially people aren't just using it because of choice, but maybe necessity, that it'll be able to be ready to handle that demand. But at the same time, right now, it's definitely sort of a early process. My original focus was just developing it and getting it ready. And for the most part, it's one of those things where there's always innovation and things you can change. And I have a small team where we're dedicated to in our own time, right? And I'm very grateful for all the people that have contributed to Mirage Sale. But yeah, man, it's not easy, as you said, and getting started is the hardest part always in anything that you do. But we have to you can't fear these early stages. And really my mindset is continue to build it, continue to grow it, and then we'll eventually do more for marketing. And that's like any business. It really takes good marketing to really allow it to grow. But right now it's so early, to the point where I really want to make sure, like I said, that the foundation is built and on a solid base, and so that we can really begin to scale it and hopefully see more come out of it. So, but yeah, man, to answer more of what you're asking, it's it's a work in progress getting people to post. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of competition, and a lot of people would just rather use Craigslist right now. And most people, the hard part is most people still, like, we're so early in Monero, we're so early in crypto, so it's one of those things where it's going to take a lot of educating for a lot of people, but at the same time, there are a lot of people out there that understand Monero and, are eager to dive into something like this as well. So, yeah.
So to make a post, I mean, is it similar to Craigslist? You just need like an email and you need an account. Or like, how's it? Obviously, like, and I think what the Monero community would desire is something where they give up as little information as possible when interacting with it, right? So can you essentially, effectively, kind of anonymously post as a vendor and get on there and interact as a potential buyer anonymously?
Right. No, yeah. And I thought that through as well. So when I was building this, I definitely thought about that. And, you have options to, like, when you're building a website like this and create an account, you could just streamline it through Google, Facebook, and other sort of platforms where a lot of people are on. But I chose not to do that because I didn't want, I kind of had that, understanding of Monero people aren't going to necessarily want to give all their Google and Facebook information and attach it to a marketplace that's supposed to be based in Monero. So what I did is just email and password and nothing else. No photos, no KYC, no, it's just peer to peer. You can message, you can reference yourself under an anonymous handle. You don't have to give away any of your identity. And yeah, it's just purely in your location. You can list it, but it's optional. Or you can kind of just list a nearby location that you might want to, it doesn't have to be your exact location, but can be in the vicinity of that. But, the idea was to base it in the local marketplace because I kind of believe that the world is where it's headed. There's a lot of innovation going on with globalization and whatnot, and I think the world needs a little bit more of localization. But besides that, yeah, you don't really need much, or you don't really need to give up much of your information to use Mirage Sale, which is really cool. And to create a post and whatnot, it's all pretty much streamlined and easy, very similar to Craigslist. There's a section on the website, just create a post, and yeah, I encourage people to try it out. And always, if feedback, and whether it's positive, negative, whatever it may be, it's always welcome. So
yeah. Now, obviously, it's not decentralized. You're running this thing. How do you intend, I don't know if you want to get into it, but how do you intend on handling undesirable posts and things like that, balancing that against not wanting to censor what people are doing in the marketplace?
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah. And, part of my mindset is this, it's not a decentralized marketplace. This is a business. I am the CEO. I created this. So, I'm accountable for everything that happens on this marketplace. And part of my mindset when creating this is, you're going to have to be compliant to the law that is at B. And, whether we agree with it or not, these people do have the guns, and, they are in charge, and you don't want to get yourself in sticky situations. And I'm cognitive of that. So I don't want to be the person that censors everyone and whatnot. But basically, if it is under the law and is legal and complies, then it's okay. But obviously, anything that goes against the current standings of laws that go against compliance to it, I'm going to have to limit that, and what that is. And that contribution to the marketplace is going to have to be censored in a way. So I'm not building this to, like, because I'm building, my intention is to promote everyday use of Monero and more of a circular economy to help everyday people out there get more engaged and have an easier access into this market, not only crypto but Monero. And
Yeah, no, I think there's there's definitely a need there, right? I mean, like dark markets exist. They're great for certain purposes. People that need to whatever sell things that may not be considered illegal in their jurisdiction or whatever for whatever reasons. But yeah, I think there is a need for something like this, like you said, a Craigslist of Monero. You want to sell whatever your old couch, whatever it is, you want to post a job listing, but promoting people to use Monero as the default currency for any of these, transactions between buyers and sellers for regular day stuff. Yeah, so I think there's totally a need there. And then, like you said, you just go along with whatever the laws are. You basically mimic Craigslist, right? And then with the the added feature of promoting Monero for all transactions, and then, like we said, maybe reducing the amount of data that's collected on anybody that's participating in this. So, like, it could be another advantage as to why Monero loving people might want to use it versus just using a traditional Craigslist or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to build off that, yeah, I mean, I don't plan on utilizing any data for profit with this model. I could eventually, if the traffic is there, I could, utilize data and implement ads and whatnot, but I don't plan on doing that. I know, I'm just like most people in the Monero space. I want what's best for the world. I want people to have access to sound money, and that's really kind of my motivation, and really empower local communities by doing it. So
yeah,
yeah,
Nighthawk says they aren't dark markets; they're called freedom markets. Yeah, totally agree.
right,
I always say that on this show. I call them open markets, but for people to understand
right.
what we're talking about. Yeah, unfortunately,
say
but I totally
Yeah,
agree. We got to change the the
the
terminology around
verbiage, yeah,
it.
and
That is what sets the tone. That's what's used against Monero as well, right? It's a quote unquote privacy coin, as though
right.
privacy needs to be some added feature that comes with good and bad things.
Yeah, and to add on that, and you mentioned this too, Doug, about Mirage Sale. What's cool about it is, it's not the dark net. This is literally just everyday people, and most people, like most majority of the people, don't know or have the tech savviness to access Tor and to maneuver their way around actual, or most people just don't even want to. Like your everyday person, and that's really what Mirage Sale is shooting for, is to just get your everyday person to be involved in this new, innovative economy using true digital cash in its purest form. So
You have any potential business model for it? I mean, I guess Craigslist. What it's like? Do you pay to post? I haven't used Craigslist in forever.
No, you don't
I
pay
used
to
to use
post.
Craigslist all the time.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I've gotten apartments there,
yeah.
like in college.
It was like a New York thing, right? It was like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had great,
No,
wild
you don't pay.
experiences
Yeah,
via
you meet
Craigslist.
interesting people,
Like
definitely.
little side jobs in college and stuff.
Yeah, the posts are
Like
pretty
crazy
funny.
stuff. Like, I'm gonna need someone to come over. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try that out.
What?
right,
Great experiences.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I found like an apartment through Craigslist,
yeah,
and they were fine. They were
apartments.
normal. They didn't
I
kill me.
sold cars. I bought my motorcycle on
Yeah.
Craigslist.
No, but yeah,
my
you don't pay to
Bugatti.
post. You literally just post.
Yeah, you just
and then-
post.
yeah.
No, but there
they
is.
have. I can kind of help because I've studied this a little bit, because I actually intend to follow Craigslist model eventually as like my business model,
Mhm.
because I think they've obviously proven to
They perfected it.
do
Yeah.
it well. So and
Yeah.
yeah, to clarify it, it's not necessarily every post you have to pay, but specific categories, more so, like exclusive categories, certain job listings, and like they require like a small like fee to post. And I think that's the best way, because and many people have said, oh, implement a third party payment processor that I can take a percentage of every transaction in Monero and whatnot. But my mindset is, I'm trying to create the most peer-to-peer environment possible. I want Mirage Sale to really be between two people. I know I'm a centralized business, but I'm trying my best to stay out of people's hair as much as I can and respect the individual and empower the individual. So I just think eventually, if the demand becomes, if the demand is there, I think the best model would eventually to target certain, probably more higher end categories or specific categories to require a small fee in Monero or in crypto to post. And I think that's the best, to keep it purely peer-to-peer.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the route you're going to need to take. Otherwise, you're not going to get those Monero early adopters. They want that true peer-to-peer experience. So it's kind of like a local Monero, local Bitcoins, meets Craig. I mean, it's basically what Craigslist is, what it started as. I don't know if it still has that same vibe, but really that is what Craigslist is, just a platform putting buyers and sellers together. They don't really act as a middleman in any way. So yeah, man, awesome. Would love to continue the chat with you and watch as this evolves. Thanks for coming on and talking about it. To anybody listening, any idea, anything you're working on that's Monero related, you're always welcome to jump on this show. That's what the show's all about. Come on, talk about it, get the word out to the community. We want to be, help people get the word out that are working on Monero related projects. So Andreas, man, appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks. Hey, I appreciate you guys. And I guess my final message will be, to all the people out there that are riding the fence of, taking that chance or taking that risk to really create something in this space. I hope to inspire you to do so. And now has never been a better time, and you have an opportunity to take this crypto winter and potentially turn it into your crypto summer. So I'll leave it at that, and much love to you guys. And maybe we do this again and see where we go. So.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Good advice.
Thanks.
Good advice. It's build
time. Yep. Beautiful.
Andreas, if you want to hang around, we're gonna move on.
Price report.
But if you hang around, we'll jump back to comments from the viewers.
The viewers on stage, so just hang around if you want, if you have time.
Yeah. How long do you think? What's the time?
We're gonna do a price report, and then we're gonna do a new segment quickly. We have to, end it
about
at
2 hours from now.
No, probably until 10, because we got to go.
Hopefully in
birthday parties
25 minutes from now.
Right.
This is the goal. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I think I can hang around for, probably like 20, 25 more minutes, if that's kind of in that time frame. Probably around 10 o'clock, I kind of have to start wrapping things up. But
all right. Sounds good. All right.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
All right. Cheers, man.
Cheers. All right.
The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
Aloha. How's it going?
Hello. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. How was your Porcfest? I think I missed the first 10 minutes of the show.
It was really good. We had a really good time.
Yeah, it was great.
It was long, nonstop fun. As
Selling
you can tell,
coffee.
right? We saw. Oh, yeah, that's right. We saw you on MoneroKon, or maybe not. I'm not sure. And then we went to Porcfest, so it was a lot of fun.
We should. The coffee at Porcfest, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil, again.
6 bags of freshly roasted that he roasted up, and the coffee came out really good. So
thank you.
I did have the coffee before, but it was like pretty quick. It was like I had to consume it in less than a minute.
In Portugal, we really screwed up the coffee. I apologize for that. It was we had shipped the machine there. The guy helping us out didn't really know how to use it yet. No fault of his. We kind of put him under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it was literally like, here's the roaster, my friend.
And then we realized.
We realized after
the fact that that machine needed a converter because of the electrical
and obviously
charge.
We didn't think about that.
And so it was overheating the machine. So the coffee was roasting at like a super fast speed. We were like, why is it getting so? But yeah, we've gotten really good at roasting. Well, Neil has gotten very, very good at roasting. So yeah, putting the word out, guys. Order the coffee because we have the green beans. So now's the time, and then we can get another fresh batch. So now's the time to order coffee on Gratuitous, and you get good stuff. But go ahead, aFungible, take it away.
All right, great. So today's 26 price number report, and this is just something I showed last time, but I just added another company to the list. So we first started with Luna and then Celsius. Then Three Arrows Capital went down, and then now the news of Voyager. I saw that yesterday. So just to give a briefing, the Three Arrows Capital was a 10 billion assets under management company, which it was a darling of the bear market back then. And just when Voyager announced that they are under default because they gave, I think about I don't know 21,000 bitcoins or something, and uh, 200 million US dollars in USDC, and they could not return it back. Therefore, they are in deep trouble. And then the shares went down by 40% for Voyager. And once they announced that they're going to stop the withdrawals. So yeah, this is what happened. And I think this is also, I wouldn't be surprised to see more companies going forward in the coming days, having this kind of a shit show with the customers' money. But I guess that's what this space is, not your keys, not your coins. So let me move ahead with what I'm going to discuss in this. The fear and greed index, as always, um, is at its lows. It's a nice lucky number, right? 11 in the last week, since the last week. And we are in really, you know, uh, we are closing in on the end of the bottom of the bear market, but still we are, in deep fear. And therefore, since there is a lot of fear, there is less of demand going forward. And we are also hunting the bear market bottom. There was a tweet that I saw on Twitter asking me that, hey, can you, in this price report, can you spot the exact bottom, exact price? And that's what I'm going to try to do in this report. And also discuss some trends with Monero. I was able to get the blockchain data and draw some nice graph out of that. So I'm going to show that in the end. Also, one of the things about like marking the exact bottom is a quite a difficult thing, because over the past decade, several models, both technical and on-chain, have been attempted to mark the exact bear market bottoms. But as the market evolves with the maturity and adoption, I think these models also diverge, and they need adaptation in some way or the other. But the only thing is the euphoria and the fear in the market. That's a human psychology that never changes. So the very first thing that I'm going to show is this chart basically covers almost everything that we need to see. This was recently put out by Glassnode. So I tried to interpret this data. So we have 5 models that you can see on screen, basically 5 lines. The black one that you see is the price of Bitcoin. And we're going to just interpret what these 5 lines are. So just to give a briefing, the very first line that I'm talking about is the Mayer multiple, which is basically, the 200-day moving average. And Mayer multiple of 0.6 is what this red line shows, which is over here. And what this is that the price is trading 40% discount to the 200-day moving average. That's what this line shows. So if you're touching this line, it's basically 40% discount to the 200-day moving average. And this comes to around 23,500. So we are below this line. And the next one is the realized price. This is the yellow line that you see here. And what this means is it's the aggregate cost basis of the current coin supply. In other words, is basically whenever we move Bitcoins from one wallet to the other, we basically take the price at which the coins moved and average it across all the wallets. So that is the realized price for you. That stands about 22,500. And what this means is this also marks pretty much close to the bottom historically of a bear market. And the third one is 200-week moving average, which is nothing but all the data points in the curve of which is the blue line we see over here. This is the 200-week moving average, which is every week we take the price of Bitcoin and average it out over the last 200 days. So this is everything is about $22,000. So right now, the price of Bitcoin is lagging behind these three indicators. That is normal in a bear market. But we're going to jump to two other models which have really not been broken, especially not the last one, which is the delta price, or it's also called the top cap. So the balance price is sitting around 17,900. So we did briefly touch below this level, which is the gray, the green one in this. We did touch below this level. It's basically it's let's say an experimental attempt at capturing the Bitcoin's fair valuation, and it's also called the long-term OG model, which is like the hodlers who have been there for several years or a decade. They don't get shaken. So this is the line indicating that it never has really gone below this or on a closing basis.
The
So we
hodlers
are,
resort.
yeah, the hodlers resort basically. And the last one is the delta price. This is like the crucial line. This has never been broken historically. So this is the purple line that you see here. It's never been broken. And what is the value of that line is 15,750. So what does this top cap or delta cap mean? It's basically the realized price that is I just talked about, and it's a difference between the realized price and the all-time average price of Bitcoin. So we're talking about a really low level. So it's the kind of like the all-time average of all the prices accumulated in Bitcoin. So this stands about 15,000. So this has never gone below this price his, in the history of Bitcoin bear markets on a closing basis. So talking about the bottom of Bitcoin, yes, sure, we can go to $8,000. But if we can close above 15,000 on a closing basis, well, that's still amazing. This still doesn't, this still satisfies this constraint. So things can change, certainly. But if you're talking about a bear market, I would say on a closing level, it's still about 15,000. Well, moving on, just give me a second. So I am going to talk about, this is also something that you can see. It's called a CVDD um, ratio, which is pretty much the same as the top cap or the delta cap. And you can also see from this chart, you can just go to wooble.com and check out the charts there. Just a second, I think I'll keep it this way. So the next one is the on-chain of active addresses. This is a pretty interesting, it gives a lot of insights because as we know during a bull market, so what are active addresses? It's basically when coins moves from one wallet to the other, as in sent and received. Whenever a wallet receives or sends Bitcoins, that is when an address becomes active. So during a bull phase, the number of active addresses increases. Very logical. During a bear phase, people take a step back, sell, and they don't take interest in the market. So during a bear market, the volatility of active addresses keeps increasing. So I want to just show one interesting point here. So if we see, this is like from a week ago, June 26, you see active addresses at 836,000 with a price point of 21,000. So if we go back into the history to find out active addresses of 836,000, so just going to just go back like far away. So 836, let's say over here, right? So this is a 836. It was during a bull market. You can see the price point here, sort of bull market. It was around in mid of 2019. Price point of 11,000. Everybody's excited, and active addresses is 836. And fast forward today, it's bear market. It's at the end of the world, double the price, and still the same active addresses. So this speaks a lot about adoption in general. So it's something that we can interpret. So and this one is another interesting chart. It's the Bitcoin profitable days. So if you were to hold this asset, when could you buy it to still be profitable? So this was the green part is when you could have still bought it and still be in profit. So this is about 1.5 years ago. So currently the holding period is still 1.5. Certainly if this price goes down, this can extend, but in general, historically, like people holding coins are in profit if they hold for at least, let's say, about 2 years of time period. And
Has gone lower than on that than ever before in terms of the years going back?
I don't know. I have to see that, but in general, it's been like 2 years.
Hmm.
I think, yeah. Right now, it is. I can only see what's right now. It's 1.5 years, and we are at pretty much the
Hmm.
lowest point. So it's plus minus, let's say, 2 years. And there's something I found at Plan B's account where he posted that we are at all-time lows in RSI, and that is actually quite true. And the color of the dots is the how much time is left towards the next halving. So we are still quite some time away. But if you ask me, we're going to stay around these levels because I don't see that kind of demand, the euphoria demand coming back. And certainly, I would see at some point us going back to test those 30,000 levels. I don't know when that happens, but that would still be a kind of escape route for a lot of miners who wants to sell off because, as I mentioned last time, the electricity costs. Um, so yeah, we might be in this 20, 30,000 range. Um, as far as technical charts is concerned, again, the RSI is, if we look at this, let me just, the RSI is at, yeah, um, the lowest. I think we have only seen this a few times in history, but if you see each and every bear market has different conditions or triggers that caused it, and you can't really estimate the humans greed and fear per se. So I would think that we're just going to flirt around these levels. It's going to be a dry boring market for the time to come, not a trader's market. And at some point, we should go back up. And coming to XMR USD, I'm not able to really, frankly, interpret the data, but all I can say is like the support of $120 is not hard enough. That is to say, if what I mean as a very hard support is that even if the market tumbles down, that's something that happened with Monero, I think, in the past, where we saw a nice pump when the whole market was going down, when it came from number 50 to number 30 levels in the top 50 coins. I don't see that kind of a momentum playing out right now. So I'm still very skeptical and wary of this $120 because I see the next support as $80. So it's a high probability that if Bitcoin, were to capitulate in the coming days or show some weakness, it might induce some weakness in Monero, and it tries to find the next best level of support where nothing shakes it, even if the whole world's basically comes crashing down. So that is where I see this $80. And this is a very interesting part because XMR BTC, XMR seems to be doing really well against Bitcoin. And it seems to be a strong buy at this point. Um, but I think if you ask me, it's these $100 levels are pretty good long-term store of value opportunity.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and I have one interesting part which I talked about the blockchain. And uh, can you interpret this data for me, if possible? This is the transactions.
I don't know. You tell. What am we? Hold on. I can barely see it.
All right. So this
Obviously,
that
transactions per day going up.
yeah, exactly. So this is like the day since the inception of the blockchain, which is somewhere in April 14, and this is the entire circle till today.
That's cool.
And
Okay.
yeah, this is a linear scale that basically speaks about the transactions, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of spikes, and you can't really see too much out of this. However, let me see. However, this data is pretty interesting because I just drew this and I was a little surprised seeing this. So neat. This is the transaction in the logarithmic scale.
Okay.
So we started with something less, and you don't see these circles, but there should also be circles. I'll try to draw them and post it on my Twitter. So yeah, this is a very good interpretation of this data, in my opinion, and it's going towards 100,000 at some point in time. So I think in, let's say, a couple of years, we might see that kind of number.
Nice organic growth.
Nice organic growth because it kind of smoothens out all the noise from the data.
What would Bitcoins look like in comparison?
That's a good point. Let me also do that, and let me present it next time with the
Yeah.
Bitcoins transaction. That'll also be interesting. But it's been pretty dry with Bitcoin, I would say, on at least on the layer one, because I think now for transactions, people are slowly moving on to layer two Lightning. So ideally,
when you zoom out on Bitcoin's transactions and you look at them versus Monero, I mean, it looks like Bitcoin leveled out and is going down a little bit. Monero just continuously trending up in terms of transactions.
right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this also takes into account any statistical attacks and other vectors. People that attack the network, the transaction suddenly shoots up. But this is like an organic growth over time, so we can kind of trust
Any
this.
predictions when we pass Bitcoin in terms of transaction count?
I think the last time I saw Bitcoin's transactions, it was quite high. I think it was like 700,000 every day. Right now we are at, I think,
We're at like
30.
10%, right? We're at like 10%
We're
of
like
it.
6%, I guess.
Okay, I thought we
Because
hit 10% at one point.
could be. I'll have to check the data. Yeah, I think we were like 8 or 9%.
Okay.
At some point. So when does it pass? I think it all depends on the adoption and also the price, because the transactions and price are some way correlated in a very mysterious way. So we'll have to wait and watch. But I would say 2 years might be a good time horizon to revisit this.
All right.
Yep, that's all from my side today.
I mean, so what do you think, just big picture wise? Obviously, this bear market is just different than any other one we've been through with Bitcoin, with crypto, with Bitcoin in particular, obviously being the oldest one. We've never been in an environment where interest rates are going up, really, right? Bitcoin has always kind of benefited from the good times where money was flowing, money was cheap, and people were looking to put it into something. It's never really been tested under this scenario where it theoretically, I guess, it makes sense it's acting in this way, right? Because money is cheap. But so on a macro level, I mean, do you see that affecting the, Bitcoin market in a larger way, causing it to maybe not act as it normally does in a bear market, perhaps making it a worse than usual bear market?
Yeah, well, I would say to look at a different perspective, the very reason Bitcoin was created was because of the 2008 financial crisis, if I might say that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a test for Bitcoin's, all the narratives it's played down in the last 10 years. It's a test for that. And I think I would just put it this way: the human psychology in this whole cryptocurrency market is running on greed in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where does the greed come back? I mean, does it come back when Bitcoin goes to 15,000? Does it come back at 10,000? So that is something that we have to watch. But I think in the whole macro scale, people are.
I guess my question is, if the Dow keeps, if the general market keeps going down, does Bitcoin at some point untether and start going up, or is it going to continue to get pulled down by the rest of the market?
I would say it will get pulled down with the rest of the market. However, it might find its own level and be dry for a very long time. That is to say, let's say the market goes down by another 30%. Bitcoin is flirting around 15,000 and finds its floor and just going to be there. But a lot of
see a potential scenario where the sell-off in Bitcoin almost starts to accelerate because the narrative of store of value starts to deteriorate. So like if Bitcoin just continues to trend down as the market trends down, then it's continuously proving it's not a good store, like it's not a better store of value than other things. So
Sure.
does that then erode trust in it as a store of value, and people start selling on that, saying, you know what, maybe Bitcoin isn't a good store of value, and then that kind of propels it down further.
Yeah.
You see,
I think the potential scenario I might see with this is when all the models that has defined Bitcoin so far breaks down, and I think that model comes around $15,000. So technically speaking, if that doesn't hold, and we just stay below that for, let's say, a week, then I think people are really going to question what is the next model that we can predict the price of Bitcoin on. So I think that's a very precarious scenario.
What are we sitting at right now? We're sitting at like 19 right now, 20?
I think 19, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so we're really currently in uncharted waters right now, right? Because I mean, Bitcoin, when was the last time Bitcoin went lower in a bear market than its previous high? Right? That hasn't been since what?
Yeah.
The 2011.
That hasn't, I mean, even touching the previous all-time highs, in the next bear market, that even hasn't been the case, because in the previous bear market, I think we touched something like 2,800 or 3,000.
Right.
But the previous bear market high was like 1,100.
Yeah.
So, but this time we broke the previous
right.
all-time high.
Uncharted water, right? Or I guess in the past have we always never broken through the previous all-time high? Or no, there's been times when we have, right? Like way back. Or no?
That could be way back, but the thing is, we can't really trust the data from 2011, 12 bull and bear markets. And one more thing, very important thing to point out is I also checked the active addresses, like in terms of accumulation of Bitcoins. When I'm talking about Bitcoin, it's the overall crypto market in general. So there has been a lot of addition of people in the wallets at having less than one Bitcoin. So those addresses have actually blown up in the last few weeks. And also like the whale addresses holding more than 10,000 Bitcoins, that have also kind of blown up. So that is something that people, like the money is moving to something like smart money from hodlers.
Nightmare is saying BTC is going to 8K, Monero is going to $40. All right.
Yeah, if the $80 breaks,
everybody throw your estimate at what you think the Bitcoin bottom will be and the Monero bottom. It is fun to watch, I gotta say. Maybe it's I don't know. I find it entertaining. These extreme moments, whether it's like going up at an accelerated rate or these bear markets. It's fun being on the roller coaster, right?
Yeah, but
being on the roller coaster.
I think I'm enjoying it. However, cash is king at this time, to be honest. I mean, if it goes down, you need some cash to buy the dip, right? So
definitely.
It does help. That does help.
And you become a bottom chaser, though, right? You got the cash, but you don't know when to go in, right? On that end.
Well, I would say that when the whole environment is fearful, people are talking about the world ending tomorrow. I think that is when I'm starting to get in.
Yeah, I think you made a post asking where do you think we are on the emotional chart, right? Pain, whatever it is.
Yeah. And people were like panic. That's what most of them said.
Where do you think we are on that chart?
I don't know what was after panic. It was there was something else before panic, between panic and capitulation.
Yeah.
I think we are somewhere in between panic and capitulation.
Oh wow. I don't know. I think we're a little further up. I don't think I don't really sense the strong fear in the air, but I think
you think we're further up? Yeah, that could be. I would say.
I mean, I think you need like a Michael Saylor to get rattled. I think you need like,
yes.
I think all like the kind of noobish Michael Saylor people need to get completely like rattled. I mean, a lot of people are underwater, but I don't know.
I think what I could say about Michael Saylor, is, from all the data I have about him, is like he's not going to get rattled until $3,000. I think he will just bankrupt himself, but he's not going to sell his Bitcoin. I think that
No, yeah, he's all in, right? So
he's a different league probably.
yeah.
So as long as he's in, I think the other OGs would be as well, in, because Michael Saylor has not sold yet. So.
I mean, like you said, it's really going to come down to the point at which there's a group of Bitcoiners that are holding all the Bitcoin that no longer want to sell. So that is the bottom, right? What that number is, who knows?
Yeah. I think finally I would just say this: it's going to be the on-chain analysis plus the technical chart analysis plus the macroeconomic feel of how pessimistic it is. I think that is all these three factors together are going to define the bottom, but everything else is a speculation. When somebody says it's going to $10 or $20, I think that is just a feeling, and I don't think I'm going to believe that.
Yeah. All right, we should
let's
move on.
Because we gotta go. We gotta
Thank you,
go.
guys.
All right.
Hey, Fungible, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yep, greatly appreciate it.
All righty.
Sorry,
Let's move on.
it's
And now for our weekly news segment. All righty. Let's move on to the news segment.
Let's try to make it fast.
Yeah, please do. Have little mini birthday parties to go to, guys.
Sorry, guys. All right, yeah, we got things we need to do. We got families, guys.
Yeah, we do. All right, let's do this.
All right, real quick, just always doom and gloom with regards to regulation. More and more regulation growing. It's a beast, and they're all trying to just track and trace crypto transactions. So yesterday, European Commission agreed on a deal for stringent and invasive AML for all crypto services, including linking your on-chain wallets to users' KYC details. So we saw this coming for a while. It's been talked about for a long time that these were like the recommended regulations that they wanted countries to start implementing, and now we're seeing Europe take the lead here. I believe in Switzerland, this is already implemented. This has already been the case. But the basic idea being a centralized exchange, when you're interacting with it, they need to know where the coins are coming from. If you're sending it onto an exchange, you need to prove that it's coming from your wallet. And when you send it off, you need to prove that it's going to your wallet, or you need to prove, who it's going to and identify them. So that's pretty crazy. And then with that, Bitcoin being Bitcoin, if that's what you're using for those purposes, they can track and trace you thereafter. Monero, is a little more resistant to these regulations. Obviously, we say don't even, interact with centralized exchanges. But if you have to, Monero is actually built to be more resistant to the negative effects of it, because once you do remove it, even if you are identifying your wallet and saying, I own this wallet, and you're proving it in some way, they don't have any ability to look further into your wallet and the details beyond what you revealed, and can't see what you do with your Monero in your wallet thereafter. So with Monero, you could effectively prove it's your wallet, but they don't then have any information on what potentially if they're making you give up view keys, they could see into it. But where we're currently at, you could effectively identify yourself as the owner of that wallet without giving up information about it, and then without them seeing what happens thereafter as you use your Monero. So moving on, but yeah, just once again, Monero being the crypto of choice as regulations continue to grow. Another one related, cryptocurrency titan Coinbase providing geo-tracking data to ICE. ICE is now able to track transactions made through nearly a dozen different digital currencies, including Bitcoin, Ether, and Tether. So basically, this is a government entity that is purchasing this tracking system off of Coinbase. It's basically a chain analytics system that Coinbase provides, and you're seeing governments basically getting into the business of tracking and tracing for whatever it is they're trying to do. But just more of the same. People in in Bitcoin would, are out there saying, this shouldn't be happening. Government shouldn't be doing this. Chain analytics companies shouldn't exist. Well, I mean, that's just for naught. And that's really not what crypto's all about. It's not about hoping that governments, do the right thing. That's absolutely not what crypto's about. It's about building a system that's resistant to whatever governments are trying to do, or corporations are trying to do. So it's it's sad to see this, because it is hard to watch, because people are losing their data, they're losing their privacy as they use basically transparent cryptos. But it's also what we expected to happen, and that's why something like Monero is essential. Get off the exchanges, use Monero, go peer-to-peer, create your own parallel economy, and all of these services, all the millions and millions of dollars that's being dumped into these chain analytics services, all of that becomes irrelevant. All right, next story. The hard fork that was supposed to be coming up in a week or two has been pushed back to August 13th. I don't have full details on what happened, but basically they wanted to, I think, audit if you want to scroll down, they wanted to go ahead, scroll down. Release was day mainly due to the hardware wallet and multi-sig audit delays. So, there's some big multi-sig changes coming in. There were some multi-sig issues with Monero. They want to be, extra assured that, that the changes that are being implemented in multi-sig aren't going to lead to a scenario where, it could be taken advantage of. So very important. Monero's always careful with any changes it's making to its code. So I don't know. This is nice. This is good to see. So they're just being extra careful and making sure that everything's fully audited before being implemented. Seth for privacy. He was on the What Bitcoin Did podcast. So super big
Doug's
news.
Favorite podcast.
Where's the?
That was
exciting to see. Peter McCormick. Can't stand
How do you feel?
But I would love for him to have me on the show, or he could come back on mine.
That's never gonna happen.
But so happy for Seth that he got on there. He was able to represent Monero, and obviously in doing what he does best, acting as the diplomat for Monero, not pissing people off like I would do. We need Seth for privacy. He does an amazing job at doing those things. So congratulations, Seth. Thanks for getting it out there. I think he did it. I didn't hear the entire episode, but I'm sure he did an amazing job. I think I would have pushed a little bit more on the fungibility issues. I don't even know. Did Seth even say the word fungible on the? Somebody do a search on that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But
let's move on. He did a great
strategic.
job.
He's strategic. bringing them in, taking the horse to the water, throwing it in their face.
All right, moving on. Last but not least.
And last but not least, big announcement. So I'll be speaking on this panel, and Jo Jorgensen is going to be moderating it. She ran for president on the Libertarian ticket, and Mark Moss is going to be there. But if you scroll down, I sent out a tweet because she was saying, "Hey guys, what do you want me to talk about?" Because I am, since I believe in decentralization and letting everyone's voice be heard, which topic do you feel is most important? I responded with a tweet basically saying, let's talk about, true digital cash, peer-to-peer digital cash that cannot be censored or surveilled, and discuss why such a utility is necessary to preserve liberty in the digital age as traditional cash dies. That topic needs to be discussed at Freedom Fest. These people need to hear that. And I don't want that to get avoided on the panel because, whatever, they're maxi leaning or afraid to start criticizing Bitcoin or something. So guys, jump on here, like this tweet, retweet it, get it a ton of attention. So Jo Jorgensen has to mention. Obviously, I'll be up on the panel, so I'll find a way towards this topic.
No.
But even if she doesn't bring up the topic, but might as well go on there and give it some attention. All right.
Alrighty. That's it. I guess let's move on to the viewers on stage.
Yeah, guys, we're getting these super fast viewers on stage. Anybody wants to jump up?
It's the viewers on stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down.
Oh my God, I hate that.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How you hear me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
we
We
hear
hear,
you.
whoa, you got some feedback.
This time is different because I use mobile phone.
It's no,
Yeah,
it's got a very loud.
yeah. You have ringing in the
Yeah.
back.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah,
have.
I have to mute you, man.
Yeah. All right,
I feel
fine.
every time there's like an ongoing thing with him. We'll get there, man. We'll get it fixed. Yeah, see if you could get rid of that sound. We
Yeah.
can.
I don't know. Hello, Andreas.
This
How's
is
it going?
Yeah, a little disrupting there,
like
but
the
hey.
third time he's been on with
Aw.
sound issues. Don't worry. Well, you're always welcome, man.
Yeah.
Just fix the sound a little bit. We're iterating. It's getting better, but we're not there yet. You can jump back on trying in a second. But anybody else want to jump on? Oh.
Yeah, I tried to mute him just to check. But no, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to mute you. But it's okay.
It happened last show.
Yeah, it did. But it's okay because the segment has to be short.
Yeah,
we
segment has to be short. Andreas, anything else you want to bring up with regards to what was brought up in the news or price stuff or?
Yeah, no, I got some, you know, I kind of touched on it when I presented in terms of, I got a few things in terms of the price, you know, typically if you look back, cyclically speaking in study cycles, we are amidst the 7th year cycle in the markets. And you can see dating back since really the Federal Reserve and removed the dollar off the gold standard, every 7 years, markets tend to have some type of correction, crash, or cyclical downturn, excuse me. And we are in that 7th year. And typically, cyclically speaking, and this isn't my opinion, and you can look it up, and a lot of people reference it as the Shemitah year, where it's a 7-year cycle where the markets tend to correlate with. And usually the bottom happens in September, October. So it'll be interesting to see how the markets play out this year. But that was something from my research I noted, and I think it was useful to add too.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it might be as simple as that trend that's been happening, which is what is it called?
Yeah, you can look it up. It's correlated with the Hebrew calendar and the Shemitah year. And you can look it up, Shemitah 7-year cycles. In markets, and you can see it's really quite interesting. And again, not my opinion, this is just kind of cyclical data that's out there for all of us to see. So it looks like for instance 2001 was dot-com bubble, 9/11, 2008, those are both Shemitah years too. In the 7-year cycle you had the global mortgage financial crisis. So and then we are currently back in that year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the end of this fall here, going in September, October, and November, as that's typically the time that you will see your lows in these 7-year patterns. So.
All right. Good points. Anybody else want to jump up? Guys, jump up, talk about any of the news this week, the markets, the regulations that are coming down. Andreas, what do you think about that? I mean, we're seeing a greater clampdown from governments on crypto. Any remarks there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, you're hearing a lot of noise, but I think I saw something recently about Gary Gensler. I know there's a ton of headlines on him, but he said Bitcoin is actually a commodity or whatnot, something along those lines. And I believe Monero fits on that same boat as Bitcoin due to its, you know, foundation and not really being a company and being purely community pushed and no real venture capitalist investment in it. So Monero and Bitcoin are very similar in besides the technology, but in their foundations, you know, both anonymous founders, excuse me. And I think that will help Monero navigate through this, is really how its sort of upbringing and its founding has been. So.
All right, man. Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat. I can't even keep up with the chat right now. If anybody in the chat wants to jump on, Nightmare, jump on, man. It seems like you got a lot to say. Come on the podcast. Throw him the link. Let's see if he wants to jump on.
I already did.
Hello?
You have more time. Okay. No worries. Oh, hey, man. How's your sound? You're good?
It's better now?
Okay. Yeah, Yeah, we could hear you now. Make a comment, and then we got to close it out for the day. Go ahead. What do you want to bring up?
I wanna bring up on topic about the pirate chain, because pirate chain have same value as Monero private currency, and if same project like Monero, Dero, secret pirate private community have problems, then this can affect Monero, like stable coins last time. When the Luna collapsed, the affection was on the others, like BSD, Tether. So
So
if
wait, hold on. I want to understand. So you're saying if something bad happens to Pirate Chain or something, it's going to affect the broader privacy coin market. Is that what you're saying?
exactly,
Okay.
there is position about that,
Okay.
and about the market, I wanna ask. There is some conception about pegging Monero to some commodities to stabilize value,
Yeah.
same as currencies which I pegged, for example, to gold, to iron, to oil. There is some conception to stabilize a price to make it easier economic market, because if Monero have wide range of value, for example, from 200 to $2,000, rubles, euros, there's no difference, because, for example, if we have 5,000 piconero for a bet, and same time 3 days later this bet have raised his value 10 times, that was
Yeah. No,
problem.
what are you suggesting? You're saying to try to peg Monero to? Are you saying that's something that should be considered? What do you?
Yeah, something like that, because there is some values which should
Yeah,
which
but how would
can
you?
be pegged.
The whole Oracle problem, and how you gonna do that? And that's just not what Monero is. I mean, Monero's pegged to the demand that people have for it as digital cash. That's its base peg value, is the demand that the market has for a system for sending transactions peer to peer without censorship. So that there is a peg there. It's through its base values based on its core utility and what society values that utility as. But it's a proof of work coin. It's to try to make it. I mean, what is stable? Define stable. Everything's relative, right? So to say that gold is stable, it's these stable coins, the ones that are trying to be algorithmic. They haven't proven themselves yet. We've seen them fail. We saw Luna fail. Stable coins like Tether are interesting, and they provide a service. But Monero is something else. It's not meant to be quote unquote stable with regards to fiat or gold. It's meant to be stable on its own accord, which is based on the base utility that it offers.
But we can somehow peg it value of the Monero by the voltage value. For example, if we need 5,000 voltage to mine Monero, that can be calculated to value.
Well, it is that's the demand. That's how mining works, right? So there's a certain demand for hash power based on how many people are looking to mine Monero, because they're trying to get it based on the cost of electricity, and they see value in investing and trying to mine for a return. And yeah, there's a base value created from that too, just the cost of mining a Monero. But Sunita's kicking me on the table here. We gotta go. We got birthdays.
It's like my nephew.
But yeah, we let you get your comment in there on the end. We're gonna close it out, guys. This was a great
so sorry.
show.
That's why we did it early.
Wish we could interact more with the community on the chat, guys.
But definitely next week.
That's in the chat. Bring your chat onto the stream and just jump on. You could turn your camera off and we can talk there. People are making lots of comments, so feel free to do that in the future. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, GR44 Poland. We're gonna close it out, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us.
We got our run.
Appreciate you guys. Much love.
All right. Bye. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th to all those.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Adios.
Liberty.
Adios.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or join us in the Monerotopia Telegram group. See you all next week.